Sometimes stuff does go viral, but that's like lottery ticket shit. That's how I like
Yeah.
compare it in my mind. I'm like, sure, I could win the lottery and then I could repeat winning the lottery. In this case, I suppose it's possible, but it's never going to be like to plan virality requires the use of sensationalism is the truth of
Mm-hmm.
it. Like I have to inflame you, and if I do that, I can go viral. I could say some wild shit right now, somebody will clip it and it'll go viral. It's really fucking easy.
Right.
There's this I don't know if any of you ever actually signed up for Curiosity Stream or Nebula, but like I signed up for Curiosity Stream at one point and I watched this whole thing on meme factories and how like they have scientists who basically study the reactions of the data and the graphs to optimize memeing. So if you want to make a Republican freak the fuck out, you got to use 8 words or less, and it's got to be real simple, and it's got to be like, targeting this type of thing. But if you want a liberal to freak the fuck out,
Microchips in the vaccine.
basically yes, but a liberal needs 30 words or some shit like that because liberals want to feel more pretentious. So you'll notice your left-leaning people be sharing memes with like smaller font and a lot more words, and your
Mm-hmm.
right-leaning people be leaning fucking fatter words, fatter text with like less words and shit. And if you watch for that, you're gonna be like, say fucking word, because there's this
Yeah.
shit they studied at the base like level of how these different groups identify on that politics shit.
Mm-hmm.
As well. And the thing is like motherfuckers be wildly quoting stats with no like fucking stats training. So it's like, what are you quoting? You don't understand the difference between a nominal and an ordinal stat.
Yeah.
So if you don't really understand stats, like who the fuck cares that you
I
said
mean,
10?
people like. I mean, especially with the virus, a lot of the right. There was channels I had to stop watching when this whole pandemic started because like they were just right up the ass, like ridiculous, like 99% survival. Like they were, quoting that shit. They were saying, "Oh, it's just the flu. It's not just the flu." Like they they twist facts. Like people don't even really like understand. Like you said, they don't understand facts. Period. Like you don't
What's
need to
even
die
at
to be
like
in the ICU.
one of the biggest lies ever told was from Ben Shapiro when he says facts
Fuck
don't
Ben
care about your
Shapiro. I just
feeling.
want to put that out there.
But like the biggest lie ever is facts don't care about your feeling because facts is a democratic agreed upon thing when you look at the semantics of the word. It requires an agreement, which means somebody has to take a truth of some kind, sell the story behind it, get a bunch of people to agree upon it. Thus, facts is entirely feelings. It's only
Mm-hmm.
the only thing that facts care about is people's feelings because we all have to agree and feel that this fact is there because empirical evidence is simply interpretation of shit. Otherwise,
Right.
the discoveries 100 years ago are hard facts and don't mean shit. Like we
I mean,
constantly
here's and
overturn science. That's how science be.
regarding Benny Shabibo, uh, and the whole facts don't care about your feelings shit. I've actually seen I actually watch. I'm not ashamed to say it. I watch Vosh. I really
I
like
don't even know
Vosh.
what the fuck that is.
He's like he's a super left YouTuber, but he's not like one of these fucking like reactionary YouTubers. He was in some hot water because of how he addressed child exploitation a few months ago, and some people are trying to like slander him and say that he was all for CP. Um, but yeah, and
Oh, I
I've
think I
seen
saw
comments.
a video, a hit piece on Dude that tried to tell me exactly what you're saying is what you're describing. I think I've seen commentary on this person. I love that
Yeah,
YouTube gossip
he
shit.
was trying to say that he was for CP when he was really trying to like, and he's kind of edgy for better or worse, and he was trying to because a lot of the conservatives like like their whole they hate pedophiles, like they want to call everyone a pedophile, whether they are or not, and it's funny that they love Bill Gates, but Bill Gates was a associate of Jeffrey Epstein, but you know they 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 want to act like they care about child exploitation, but they don't care about child exploitation that gets them the goods that they regularly consume in this consumerist, hyper consumer focused society. So it's just like, okay, do you really give a shit about child exploitation, or are you just picking shit to be on a soapbox about whether it's true or not?
I
But
fucking swear I had that conversation like earlier. A version of that like child exploitation conversation earlier too with my girlfriend. I think it's wild how much everybody of all age groups sit there and have the same fucking conversations and then act like, oh, that generation's fucking different. Like, nah, trust. Everybody's sitting there stressing about the same fucking shit.
yeah, I kind of went off on a tangent a little bit. But
No,
what I was
that's
gonna
the
say about
show,
Benny,
bro. You don't even
Benny
know that, but
Shabibo.
that's all this show is fucking tangents.
But about Benny Shabibo, I actually have seen comments on his thing where people that were like formerly like super right leaning, they were like, I actually the problem with me is I took that facts don't care about your feelings shit literally, and actually realized that Benny Shabibo was twisting a lot of shit, and he actually wasn't speaking facts, or he would find like bullshit corrupt studies to kind of disprove legitimate studies.
Because, what I realized is people be wildly quoting articles. Now, the one thing I can tell you is there's a whole profession called content writing, and you can go Google courses on how to do this shit. It's actually free. I took one on Coursera in early 2020. And the thing about these courses is they teach you how to do a couple of things. One is read 5 articles and replicate your version of it that has slightly more words, slightly better tone, slightly better everything. And then it also tells you how to, but it also tells you how to go find that this article said that and quote it. And then like, I've wildly like produced content that I'm certain has misled people just as like a side hustle thing, because like, if somebody says write this page and it's going to be that much dollars, then I'm going to write that page because that's a job. So I actually know how fucked up page 1 of Google is. And I know how fucked up the information flow is because like, or sometimes people will post these videos and I'm like, say word, I could write a script and film and edit exactly what you're sharing. And that shit fucks with me a bit because like if I could do it, not hyperbolically, I mean fucking literally, I could write some shit like that, then that shit is fucked up to me because too many people can do it. It's not that hard. Anybody in this chat could do what these people are sharing, and that's what's wild to me. But then you get to the peer-reviewed study shit, and that shit's so jargon-filled that, like, even with some level of stat knowledge, I be sitting there going, what the fuck does this paper even say? I get the gist of the abstract, and then when you get to the fucking nuances of how the 1,234 people from Pennsylvania reflect everybody in life, you get mad confused. Okay, like it's not simple. So like, how is everybody a fucking expert on shit when I promise none of these people are actually opening up a peer-reviewed thing? Because I read a lot and I can't read that shit.
Yeah, and you know what? And you know what's crazy? Like, people like. It's amazing the kind of shit people believe. Like, one of my family members, I was talking about getting my fucking, and I can't drive, so I'm kind of held hostage a little bit.
Right.
I still have to get my vaccine to go back to fucking college, and I want to get it. But it's just like, one of my family members was like, oh, well, I hear kids are dropping dead because of cardiac arrest. I literally, after the vaccine, I wonder why. And I look it up. I couldn't find one shred of any, I couldn't even find an article that was reporting on, like, kids dropping dead after the vaccine. Like, where do you get this shit?
Bro,
it's supposed to be like, all about the facts, right?
It'll be some video of a person like me be like, check it, yo. I'm gonna tell you something that the media is not going to tell you.
You know what?
I'm sitting there and I'm back. Hold on, I'm back. I'm like the fucking hospital. I'll be sitting there watching the nurses. This is what they're not. I seen the files, yo. Check it. This is how many people. They're fucking lying on these certificates. They're faking the numbers. I'm telling you, I have personally witnessed this. And that's all it is. It's like a person that's really, I mean, that was just off the dome. Trust, if I wrote a script, motherfuckers, it would be on. But like, that's some, to me, vile shit to make content like that. That's partly why I'm a terrible capitalist, because I don't do some of that shit. I actually have to do more like tastefully versions of that, but basically like people be wildly convincing when they want to be convincing. And let's say you're skeptical because your community's been lied to by the government for like, I don't know, 400 years. You see like somebody that be speaking exactly to you about exactly the shit that you're already skeptical about. And or I'll see shit like they'll be like 50,000 medical professionals believe some shit. And so I Googled it. There are something like 9 figures of medical professionals in the world, or 8 figures. 50,000 out of 8 figures is not a number I give a shit about. 50,000 out of 100,000 is a number I'll care about, like, but so I worked out that like less than 1% is that 50,000. And I was like, yo, what the fuck? That's just like a not understanding of statistics and shit, right? And then everybody creates like content and discussion around it, and now everybody's been told that, like, opinions are equal. That's this weird notion. Like, I don't think all my opinions are equal. I don't even think y'all should, like, fully trust half the shit I say half the time. Like, definitely know that I go on rants and shit. That don't mean I'm right. I'm just passionate.